Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Gail Carson. Welcome to Living Regret Free, a program that shows you how to live a better and more joyful life. As an added bonus, I invite you to listen to an introduction to my Mindset Matters program, which ties into this so well. Go to www.sobmindset.com. It's free, and I know you will enjoy it. If you'd like to contact me personally, drop me a line at gailcarson13@gmail.com or go to my website, www.spunkyoldbroad.com, and sign up for my weekly newsletter. Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Gail Carson with Living Regret Free, and I have an exciting guest for you today, and I'll tell you why. I met my guest, who is Tammy Wise, at the New Media Summit, where we go and have people pitch us to be on our shows. And she has so much energy and so much excitement. And I love that because, as you know, I'm a fitness person, and she's a former dancer, and I am too. So there was a lot of synergy there, but she will really wake you up. So let me tell you a little bit about her. She's a widely respected mind-body fitness expert and the owner of Body Logos, Inc. She's the author of The Art of Strength, Sculpt the Body, Train the Mind. As a former Broadway dancer turned Tao Minister, she was voted the best of fitness by Time Out New York and has appeared in Martha Stewart's Whole Living magazine, New York Magazine, Natural Health, Shape, and Thrive Global. She's a Transformational Authors Contest winner and a regular contributor to Honeysuckle Magazine and Medium. And you can get her at bodylogos.com. Welcome, Tammy.
Thank you for having me. Very nice to be here.
Well, you know, it's interesting. I can't tell you that I'm that familiar with the magazines Honeysuckle and Medium, but that may be because I'm not in that arena. On the other hand, I don't know if you've heard of IDEA, the Fitness Association, but I was a member of that from 1982 to last year when I decided, well, I'm not going to go to any more conferences, so I'm just going to let my membership go. So I did.
Yes, I used to be certified through them, International Dance and Exercise Association.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So I went. I started going because my instructor said, I don't know anybody else who would spend the money to go to a conference except you, Gail. So she introduced me to them, and I just absolutely adored it. So you're on a mission to redefine strength. Yes. So what is your definition that's so different, and why?
Well, the definition of strength is the ability to connect to an outside resistance, create the change you want to make without compromising yourself. Now, this is both from a mind and a body perspective. And what I see in the gym regularly and what I see in life regularly is people compromise their alignment with themselves to satisfy something that's outside of themselves, whether it's a dumbbell in a gym or a promotion at a job or a request from a partner or child. So it's this practice where you get to choose yourself over and over and over again while connecting with outside resistance. So it's not either or, but that you can have both.
Interesting. So you also say that posture more than anything else matters, and it's mysterious. Now, I come from a modeling background as well, so we were always talking about posture, but it was interesting because we taught people to walk a certain way, and head, the string from the top of the head kind of thing. And yet when you were on a fashion runway, you kind of projected that pelvic forward, giving you that kind of fashion look. So what does posture mean to you?
Well, to me, it means that you are in precise alignment with gravity. And when you are, it's like you're plugging into a source energy so that the resource of your own body is plugged in. It's revitalized. So the more aligned you are with gravity, the less hard you have to work at staying upright. And so alignment to me would mean your energy centers being stacked one above the other, putting the spring of your skeletal system in a very precise arrangement so that it can elevate or elongate out of its compression, giving more internal space so that you don't feel so cramped on the outside. Sometimes we can feel overwhelmed by life, but if we can create more space on the inside, that overwhelm starts to subside, and we find this, what I call neutral attention, from being in neutral alignment.
So do you think most fitness instructors know this?
I think that they have an understanding, kind of similarly to soldiers in the army. You know, posture is very recognized as a way to align people, but in military, it's used with a lot of tension. And so it's not at ease alignment, it's tension provoking alignment. So yes, it's aligned, but it's so compressed that it doesn't have that elevated aspect that I'm talking about when you are aligned in a state of grace. So I believe that the art of strength is to be able to be relaxed and strong simultaneously, and that's about being tension-free in your alignment.
But you talk about the difference between tension and strength.
Yes.
So what is the difference?
So if you think of tension and strength being on the same continuum, the same line, they're both energy based, but tension is static energy. It's held like a fist. And strength is fluid energy. It's more like a rippling creek or river. It's inflow. So when we compress ourselves with tension, which can be from an on-purpose thing, like with the military posture, or it can be from tension patterns that we've adopted from the life that we've lived. Those types of chronic tension patterns are what's really interesting when it comes to my method, the Body Logos method. We start to break down those tension patterns. We analyze what the root of that tension pattern is, so you can start to create a new life story. You can rewrite the part of the script in your story that is misaligned with who you are now.
So how did you come out with the Body Logos method? I mean, you've got a lot of physical training, but how did you come to the Body Logos method?
Well, the Body Logos method is what brought me to physical training. It came first. At the age of 10, my dad started coming into my room at night. For 3 years, sexual abuse was a lifestyle. And in these moments when he would come into my room, I would, what they call in psychology, disassociate. But I would bring my energy body with me somewhere where I would feel like my bones were stretched between earth and sky, and I felt plugged in to something bigger than me, to a source energy that was relevant, that made me feel important and safe and taken care of and like a part of the whole. I felt a sense of belonging, which I was not feeling at all from my family of origin. So I was living this ping pong game between being a curled up, tension-filled little girl in her bed to being this elongated, strong girl in this altered reality. But I had no control which reality I was in. I would just ping pong back and forth. And I decided that I wanted mastery over this. I wanted to learn to stand in this alignment in my life on purpose. So I started taking ballet classes at the age of 10 for the purpose of learning to be in this altered state all the time. And I got so good at it that I became a professional dancer fresh out of high school. That summer following high school, I was dancing in a chorus line on Broadway. So, you know, the desire to walk this talk started me into the dance world. And then I got good at dancing, and I had a whole career in the dance world. And now I've focused my energy on the origin of this whole journey.
You know, that's amazing, Tammy. First of all, you never discussed this with your mother?
No, I held this secret for 40 years.
Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine. But you know what's wonderful about it is that you came out healthy on the other side, which a lot of people don't do. So I commend you for that. And I'm thinking about out of high school. When I was 16, I was tapped to be not a Rockette, but a Roxyette. That was when the Roxy Theater also had a line of dancers. And so I was supposed to go on summer tour with them. And my mother, who was very loving but very strict, said, let me get on the phone. And she asked some questions that she didn't like the answers to. And that was the end of my going on that summer. And of course, I cried and I carried on, but of course, got through it all per usual. Mm-hmm. But, you know, so I understand. I totally understand what you did and what you had and so forth. But you went from a Broadway dancer, not directly into fitness, but into a Tao Minister, which is totally different. So explain how that came to be.
Well, you know, when I was on the road with a chorus line, I did the road tour first for a year, and then I did it on Broadway when I got back. And one of the older dancers in the show didn't seem that happy. And I was like, so happy. This job got me out of an environment that was horrible for me to be living in it. I was living in this lie constantly, and I was just as happy as could be. And I couldn't understand why she wasn't as happy as could be. And, you know, as an older person, I now understand. But at the time, I just said to myself, when I start to look like that, it's time to leave show business. I don't ever want to look like that. And so I'd say at about the age of 35, maybe, I started to get it. That every show you're starting over. And it's tough to start over and not feel like you're climbing a ladder of some sort of development. And so I decided that it was time to start looking for what came next. And I knew I was fascinated with energy. That was always my driving force. And so I went to Anne Marie Colbin's gourmet cooking school, which was all about natural cooking. I thought energy starts with what you eat. So let's look at that. And so I took a whole bunch of courses, and one of them was in Chinese herbs. And I thought, oh my God, this is it. Herbs are like high energy, low bulk. I'm totally going to study this. So I transferred to the School of Classical Taoist Herbology, and I started learning about Tao. And I realized that, well, first of all, when I took ballet class starting back at when I was 10, and so I got, when I was told to squeeze my buttock as hard as I could, I would say, that just doesn't make sense, that kind of compression. And I would create the alignment that my teacher was asking me to make without all of that tension. And so when I got into this Tao school, I started realizing that the techniques that I had created to create the shape my teacher was asking me to create were based in Tao, the theory of yin and yang, the 5-element theory, the theory that we are a microcosm of the macrocosm. I mean, all of these things were like, this is how I do a double pirouette. This is how I do an arabesque. This is how I had a language for what I had developed.
This is when you were very young, Tammy, right?
So I created this when I was very young, moving up through the ropes, like I was a soloist in North Jersey Ballet Company through high school. But I started at 10 and I just kept developing, and I used my own technique, but I never shared it with anybody. It was just for me. And it wasn't until I realized that Tao was a place that used these principles that I was using. I was like, oh my God, I'm not alone in the world. These people understand my language. I finally had a language to share what I had always done for me with others. And so, after 4 years of seminary, I actually ended up going to Tao Seminary. And after 4 years, we had to write a statement of purpose, and that was the Body Logos method. And it was my mission to bring Body Logos into the world at large. So it's my ministry. It's my ministry sharing Body Logos with the world.
Wow, that's amazing. That's an amazing story. So I know that, you integrate strength training and meditation, which is something that our listeners are. Ooh, what keeps happening? We got to be careful about that so it doesn't come across. So I assume breathing is an important consideration. Can you give us a simple breathing exercise that gets us aligned?
Yep, I can. I call this a 3-breath reset. And I advise it towards people who are sitting at a desk all day. You can do it sitting or standing. But yeah, so would you like me to walk you through it right now?
Sure, absolutely.
All right, so if you're sitting, you're going to bring your feet in close enough to the chair so that your weight is on the balls of your feet, not your heels, but your heels are grazing the floor. And then place both your hands on your low belly. And you're going to take one big breath into your low abdomen. And as you exhale, you're going to let it sink through your pelvic floor and through the balls of your feet. And I want you to feel the weight of your bones settle into the earth. And feel as though you're allowed to take up space. And then take another breath into your hands. And on the exhale, you're going to now lengthen that right up through your heart center, right up through your crown, and elevate towards the sky. And continue to feel your bones elevate and elongate or separate from each other. It's like you're an accordion given breath. And then take a third breath into your hands. And on this last exhale, you're going to feel both grounded and elevated at once. Continue to drop and lift, but effortlessly. It's in your intention that you create this alignment with gravity.
That is not an easy thing to do, Tammy. I'm doing it as you're describing it, and I know I'm not getting the result that you want me to get. So I know it's not as easy as you're making it sound. But you also distinguish between people who are being and what people are doing during their workouts. Mm-hmm. So what does that mean? I mean, you go to the gym, and I went to the gym faithfully. I mean, I was a Silver Sneakers award winner, so I was a workout nut. But I haven't gone in over a year because of, COVID. But you see the guys, and all they're interested in is in pumping muscle. They want to build that muscle. Occasionally, I will see 10% of the guys doing stretches or doing yoga or doing things that will elongate them. But the majority are there to build muscle. Women, on the other hand, are trying to stay fit. And it's always amazing to me, especially in the Silver Sneakers classes, that women carry purses that are heavier than the weights they'll use in class. I always say, well, your bag has got to weigh 5 pounds, and yet you're using 1 pound weights. So tell us the difference between being and doing.
That's so funny. It's true. Their bags are heavier than their dumbbells. This is, I guess you could compare it to could be versus should be. Now, a lot of us, gym memberships are sold because they're trying to tell you that the strength that you're trying to acquire is something outside of yourself that you have to chase and that you need them to do that. But my belief is that you're already strong. You need to unveil it from under the tension that holds it captive. And so that wouldn't sell many gym memberships, right? So that's not how, basically, I mean, that's kind of what separates me from other trainers. But if you're in the gym always thinking that being strong is something outside of you that you're chasing, you'll chase forever. You'll never be strong. You'll always be just behind it, chasing that carrot, so to speak. When are you ever strong enough? You know, like if you don't believe it's in you and it's out of you, how do you ever step into it? So the belief that you are enough right now helps you to step into your strength in a way that is present every moment of every workout. And that posture is what comes into every moment of your life, so that your training bleeds into your life. I mean, we're not training for our next workout, we're training for our life. So it's, you know, fitness is not just empty reps. Your body carries your life story. Like I said earlier, the tension in your body is unresolved issues from your life. So if you can use your time in the gym to start to unravel some of this, you're actually stepping into yourself versus chasing something else.
That's very, very intuitive. You have this, we have about 5 minutes left, and you've got this wonderful gift. It's a free video on how to surrender tension in 8 minutes. And
Yes.
It's available on your website, bodylogos.com.
That's correct.
Yeah. So this, I think, is really important, because I think, you know, I mean, I am a pretty relaxed person. And I also say I don't deal with a lot of stress because I don't allow myself to. However, there are times when I say to myself, relax, Gail, relax. And all of a sudden, my body goes into this other state. And I've been tense, which I didn't realize, but I don't think I have tension the way most people experience tension. So how to relieve tension in 8 minutes is fantastic. But you also call your method, Body Logos, the art of strength. And that's the name of your book, The Art of Strength, Sculpt the Body, Train the Mind. So you experience strength training as an art form, which is a little bit different, isn't it?
I think everything I'm saying here is a little bit different. I mean, because I'm looking at the body as a canvas, not only to create muscles, but a canvas to create the person I want to be. So you're accepting who you are and extending into who you want to develop into. So there's this element of, you know, as a performing artist, I mean, all of my education is either performing arts or healing arts. So it's always been an art-filled process to be in the body in the most optimal way. And I feel so strongly about being relaxed and strong at the same time that I've created a challenge that's a 5-week challenge that I call the Relaxed Strength Challenge. And there's one that's starting up on March 15th. So it's coming right up soon. And if any of your listeners are interested in getting information about that, they can email me at mindthebody@bodylogos.com, and we can have a little chat about it.
Fantastic. Well, we're in our last minute. So is there anything we haven't talked about that you would like to tell our listeners? And of course, I want to remind everybody to go to my website, spunkyoldbroad.com, and you're going to find my store there. You're going to find my university, which has my self-study online programs. You will find the free SOB virtual club. And, you know, you will also be able to subscribe to my Spunky Old Broad YouTube site. So anything you want to leave them with at all, Tam?
Well, I would say that, you know, Like you mentioned earlier, posture not only matters, it's mysterious. Your body tells your life story through your posture, and through that posture, you can change your story.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's so true. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed Tammy. I enjoyed meeting her. She's a bowl full of energy, I can tell you that. And listen to what she's had to say. Listen to this podcast over and over and over again because she's given you some really good tips. And make sure you go to her website, bodylogos.com, and get How to Surrender Tension in 8 Minutes. Thank you so much for being with us, Tammy.
Thanks for having me, Gail.
Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed today's show. I choose my guests carefully, so if you have someone you'd like me to interview, please drop me a line at gailcarson13@gmail.com. In the meantime, check out my intro program, Mindset Matters, at www.sobmindset.com. See you next week.